Well, good morning and welcome back to Kaitaia Aerodrome. Today we're going to take the TBM 930 for a spin up to Cape Reinga and buzz the lighthouse a few times for you. Naturally, in real life, this is frowned upon by civil aviation and the general public, but luckily this is virtual reality where it doesn't really matter that much now, does it? So our trip takes us up via Ahipara, which is one end of 90 Mile Beach access. The other end is up towards Cape Reinga. I then turn north and get down to sea level and skim above the waves at about 200 knots, 10 feet above the waves, giving you a close-up view of the infamous 90 Mile Beach. Right, let's get the plane started and prepped for takeoff. We do invite you to join Roaming Kiwi Aviation today, but please keep your seatbelts fastened as there'll be some serious G-forces involved. Sick bags are in the pockets on the seat in front of you if you need them. Just hold on to your stomachs. I will be leaving Kaitaia on autopilot to climb out at about 2,500 feet and let the plane turn towards the coast. And once I get down to Ahipara, I'll be switching off autopilot and be flying in the manual mode down 90 Mile Beach. Kaitaia ground, this is Tango Romeo Kilo 01 taxiing to runway 12 for a south departure, holding short runway 12. Tango Romeo Kilo 01 ready for takeoff, departing runway 12. I don't know if you've noticed, but since our pilot episode, the episode before this one, we've changed our call sign on the aircraft. It finally came through yesterday, so we can now use our Roaming Kiwi call sign, which is Tango Romeo Kilo 01, TRK 01 or Roaming Kiwi 01. We don't use the last one on the radio, but TRK 01. You'll probably notice it now on the tailplane and inside on the dashboard. Very cool. I'm sure you'll agree. Check for departure, flaps in takeoff position, lights on, autopilot in set mode, heading armed, climb out rate set, seatbelt sign on, fuel set to auto, and we're ready for takeoff. Undercarriage up, 3 green lights. Climb rate good, set autopilot to on. Set heading to 270 degrees. Right, autopilot is now switched off and I have control. Hang on to your seatbelts, and this is going to be a tight turn. And welcome to 90 Mile Beach, the far north, New Zealand. The plan now is to cross over from the west coast to the east coast to give you an idea of how short the distance is between east and west on the far north. This is Kokota Sandspit beach, and the park is at the far end of the beach in front of us. I'm going to attempt a landing here where we can take a quick break and sample the views. Please make sure that you're strapped in, as it may be a bit bumpy on the ground when we get onto the beach. Lower landing gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Yes, I did hear you the first time, and the second time, and the third time.
Landing gear.
So one of the safety features of the TBM 930 is you get somebody shouting in your ear, landing gear, landing gear. If you drop down to a certain speed or you lower your flaps down and your undercarriage is still up, She will continue to say that until your landing gear is fully dropped. It can be pretty annoying at times, but hey, there you go, health and safety. If you'd like to get more information on how to get to the Kokota Sandspit Reserve, then check out the website URL that is on the screen right now. Okay, there's very little wind today, so I should be able to just go back the way I came as far as takeoff goes. It's a much longer takeoff run. Just have to be careful about the surface because it's pretty bumpy along here. Right, let's get this bird back into the air. So this is the Kokota Sandspit Park directly below us now, and there's miles and miles of forestry. As you can see, I'm just climbing over to the beginning of it now. So this is native bush for miles as you head up towards the top of the island. The lake below is actually the northernmost inland harbour known as Parangaranga Harbour, with the Tapua Reserve directly ahead of us. We finally arrived at our destination for today. This is the furthest tip north of New Zealand, known as Cape Reinga. And to mark the spot, you will see the Cape Reinga Lighthouse, which is out on the furthest little tip of land. And that is a short walk from the car park, which you will also see up on the ridge. I'll fly over both places for you so you can get a bird's eye view of the entire area. So we begin our final descent down to Kaitaia Airport today, landing on an unused part of the runway which crisscrosses the main runway from east to west. I believe it's known as runway 6, but don't quote me on that, that's unofficial, but the guys on the ground talk about when I was saying which direction I'm going to be coming in from, they say, that's runway 6, but there's no markings and there's nothing on the maps, so we don't know. But at least I'll let them know. I will indicate I'm coming in on runway 6, and that'll keep everybody out of the way. Right, autopilot off, I've got control, and I'll just put a call through to the aerodrome to let them know I'm arriving. Kaitaia ground, this is Tango Romeo Kilo 01, 2 miles out on final for landing on runway 6. 500 feet, check. There are no landing lights on this side of runway 6, only on the other side approaching from the west. From the east side there's nothing. You can probably just see a little white light flashing on the right hand side as I'm approaching the runway. That's where the landing lights are for the opposite direction. So there's a set of 4 landing lights which obviously go white and red when you appear. So I'm just going to pop it down on the center of the runway here and bring it to a standstill as quickly as possible. We're only really allowed to use this section of the runway during daylight hours, because coming from this side, nighttime would be almost impossible. You wouldn't be able to find the runway. So I'm just going to put it down here, and then we'll taxi to the apron. Kaitaia ground, Tango Romeo Kilo 01, taxiing to the parking via runway 12. So I don't see the dude with the buttons this time, only the guy with the tug. Yeah, there's nobody there to wave me in, so I suppose I can pretty much pick where I want to park. So what I'll do is I'll swing round and go in next to where the tug is, and if anybody complains, well, I need some fuel anyway, so that's where the fuel bowser is going to come in. So we'll park it up over here. Just keep out of everybody's way. This will be right here. Okie dokes. That's fine. Okay, switch battery to off position, disengage engine. Right, thank you for flying with TRK Aviation today, and I hope you enjoyed our scenic flight to Cape Reinga. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and smash the bell to be notified when the next TRK Aviation simulation will be released. Until then, cheers.